So, firstly, I'm making sure it's recording, which is a good move. Now, I'm letting my opponent, my teammate, my apologies, Fwoggert buy blocks and bridge out, which is a classic book move so we can get diamonds to protect the bed. Now I'm spam clicking to get ready, which good move. Now I'm going to try and rush, but I see that they don't have any blocks built, which means that they're slow, so I will then go and buy some blocks. Oh, then I see they're saving up and are trying to attack our bed. However, it does not work as I bought a sword and it just pierced through their armor. Good try, but great move. Then I break his bed and he falls in the void. And Fwoggert has protected our bed with Deep Slate, which is a classic move, a book move. Now I make a lot more blocks to make sure I don't fall, which is a blunder, which is a mistake, because then I don't have enough to reach the other side, leading to the first mistake of the game. So finally, after getting some extra blocks, I reuse the material and ultimately recover from the mistake. Now we're going to head to magenta and green to see who we can take out. And magenta here has their bed wide open. This is a blunder, as I clearly just break it. Now I'm going for the easy kill, and I get it, with a little bit of despair. Now I'm going to help my teammate Fwoggert as we go into rush green. Now, I rush right in, and you may be thinking this is a mistake. However, I purely am distracting, so in hopes that Fwoggert can. So it may have looked as a mistake, but then Fwoggert gets the bed, turning it into a great move. Now, I finally have enough to buy iron and a sword, which is a good move. Now, we're heading back to see who else has weak defenses, which can be a good move, but staying at bed can also be. Alright, so here I see light blue, so I decide to rush him. So I'm going in, thinking I'll get the bed easy. And I do. However, iSmoke's Eye is hacking. He's reach hacking. So I go to report, which is an excellent move, and you should always report anyone who's hacking. So after I report them, I see red coming, and I have to go and defend our bed, and I have a fist PvP, which is a forced move. But back on the hacker, his hacking is a good move to win, but a blunder, because he'll just get reported, banned, and deleted. After fist comboing red, my teammate Fwoggert comes back from a journey, and I'm pretty sure I leave enough gold for him to buy iron, which, force move. Covering the bed with wood, because, well, pickaxes are just too fast, which is good, but ultimately forced move. Now we head back to see if we can get anyone else out. And I see Fwoggert does not buy iron armor, which is a mistake. But, to be honest, he can probably handle it. But, anyway, we're going, and since aqua, teal, whatever you call it, since their bed, or light blue, their bed's gone, we decide to rush, who has a Kevin the Cube wool defense, which is just a mistake. Which leads to us ultimately getting the bed, me blocking them off, which is a good move, so Fwoggert can get the finals. And now I see the hacker, and I decide to initiate combat, which is a forced move. It's ultimately a mistake because I die. However, if I did not try and kill him there, and I maybe succeeded, then that would have been a great move, which would have stopped him from getting stronger, diamond armor, etc. Now, gotta make sure that my blocks and sword are on the right keys. And I could have swore I saw a red person here, which is a forced move, because if they're here, I have to check it out. But I was hallucinating and did not see anyone, and no one was there. So, yeah. Leads to a mistake. Now, I'm tempted to unlock potion, but I decide that luck of the draw and enemy alarm is better, which is an excellent move. I buy a pick because then I can hopefully mine through more beds, and a fireball, since that should help me win. And then I see the emeralds, and I selfishly decide to take 2 for a pearl instead of saving diamond armor for Fwoggert, which is a mistake. Or diamond armor for myself. Now we're playing Ring Around the Rosie to I Smokes You. I use my fireball to get him to take some heavy damage. He leads me on a chase, which I see someone is near our island, and our bed is thus destroyed. Then my only hope is to run away. I do some good placements here to run away, and I run to green bed. I checked to see if they're following me, but they didn't. They left to go after the weak, helpless red guy instead of focusing me, which is a mistake, albeit a blunder. I go to get an extra fireball, and then I am trying to get red's bed. They have no armor, and which is just an absolute blunder. Like, if you're not wearing armor at this stage in the game, which then here the pearl saves me, which makes it a good move, but ultimately selfish. I destroy the bed, and then I get out of there because I have no need to waste my health. And I have a feeling that Aqua or Fwoggert will easily clean right up. I'm heading back to green to just get some diamonds and potentially diamond armor if Fwoggert has any emeralds. But I check the chest and there are none. But I try to unlock the potion table from an enemy team, which is a mistake. And then I Smokes I jumps into the void, which is just the blunder of the game. Absolute blunder by I Smokes I. But some could argue it was a great move because I was in the game and he was so scared that if he continued to play with me in the game, he might develop future issues psychologically. And so yeah, so take it what you will. Ultimately, I'll say it was a blunder just because he was hacking, but you know, he could have just been absolutely terrified of me. So now that the enemy gens are enemy gen. Now that the emerald gens are full, run around, collect them. I have quite a few, as you can see. So this will be nice to share with me and my teammate. And so yeah, heading back with 37 emeralds and enough to buy diamond armor. So I'm feeling good. And Green is, let's just say thank you to Green for letting me borrow it as my base, even though they are not here, and their vote doesn't really matter, but thank you. Now I'm just checking to see if Fwoggert's coming and not an enemy goober, because the last thing I want is to be surprised. So now that I have diamond armor and then I'm a final kill and we're all final kills, I decide to buy some ender pearls so I don't fall, which is a force move, and some dories to potentially knock them off, which is a good move. And then I accidentally chest my gaps, which is a mistake. Now red comes and I just kind of hit him off. I don't even use a dory somehow. And he decides he's so scared, but I decide to pearl and he falls into the void or dies of pearl damage. One of the two. And challenging us was definitely a mistake, especially with me having diamond armor. Now I go back to give my shares to Fwoggert. And that way we can gear up. Now I go back and I decide to buy 2 more pearls, which I would have bought a diamond sword had I had enough, but I didn't. So I just bought an iron sword, which, good move, but. Now we're on the hunt for the last light blue guy, Jinxie, and Fwoggert is in a Spanish stare-off. And just look at him. I decide to pearl over and rush him, not give him time to prepare a plan or anything. He tries to fireball spam, but ends up in a combo. And yeah, we're just kind of 2v1ing him here. He escapes, and then I do parkour. Well, Fwoggert falls a little behind, but ultimately is catching up. I keep pearling up to him, and I hit him on the bridge. He pearls into the block, and he falls. And we win with 3 final kills and beating a raid chacker. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, check out another one. You don't have to subscribe, but just if you like this one, maybe watch another. And yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Alright, see ya.